qual facciamo per amor a lui fossi io di penna
Alright everybody, hello and welcome to another cast in Alchemy League Season 6. Alchemy League is a 1v1 Age of Empires 2 round-robin tournament on custom maps. We have a very unique system, both for matchmaking as well as for resource development and the creation of these custom maps. We hold them to some pretty high standards. So we're expecting to have some good games today. As always, each set is play all 2, and we have 2 of them. So there are 4 games to cast. We try to pick the sets so that they showcase unique players as well as unique maps. The first set that we're going to see today is Kitza versus Max Power, and the second set that we're going to see is Wizanatic versus Snappy. Let me talk a little bit about the players, actually. Kitza versus Max Power. So Kitza, lower 1700s, and Max Power is upper 1600s. So slight advantage in terms of ranking to Kitsa. But Max Power does well. He's played with us in the league before. So is Kitsa. Kitsa, I believe, is from Mexico, and Max Power 973 is from Italy. And then Wizanatic versus Snappy. So we're talking about 2K, 2.2K, somewhere in that region. So Wizanatic has a skill advantage over Snappy, but you never know. Snappy can surprise you. So Wizanatic is from Germany, and Snappy is from Colombia, I believe. So in terms of the format, what happens is there is a map of the round for the particular round that Kitsa and Max Power played in. Confluence was the map of that round, and then they took turns discarding the remaining maps until only one remained, which was Shimmerpool, and that is what they play on for the second game. In terms of civilization draft, the admin randomly bans 5 civilizations at the beginning, and then they globally ban 2 civilizations each, and then they pick 2, snipe 1, and then pick 2 more, leaving Kitsa with the options of the Armenians, the Bengalis, and the Malay, and Max Power having the options of Saracens, Magyars, and Vietnamese. We will go over the maps and the civilization picks for Wizanatic and Snappy right before we go into that set. So, without further ado, let us zoom in and begin the cast. So, in the red, on the south, we have Kitsa. On the south side of the river, we have Kitsa playing as the Bengalis. And on the yellow northern side of the river, we have Max Power, a.k.a. Mark Landers, playing as the yellow Saracens. So Saracens versus Bengalis. I know all about the Saracens, right? You guys know about the Saracens. And maybe you know a little bit about the Bengalis too, but we will talk about the civilizations in just a moment. I just want to introduce the map a little bit. This map was made for us by Jasuni. He is a veteran map creator in our community. Good guy, and he also plays in the community too. He is from the western United States. And we worked together, kind of had this idea about a map where opposing teams were close to each other and on opposite sides of the river, and then there was a neutral land that they could go out and fight for. Jasuni decided that he wanted more of a Black Forest type feel, so he's got some pretty thick trees back here. It can actually be complicated to build. Building space is definitely a resource to watch out for on this map. There are fish. There's not a ton of fish, but there's still enough to make docking worth it. But I think that other strategies can compete well with docks because of how close the players start together. So if you can, we've seen players in the past like sneak an archery range or something back here and be super annoying in the back of their opponent's base, and it's effective because their opponent has less room to expand out and do things. So there you go, there's the map. It's basically a blend between Black Forest and Highland, if you will. I think it's pretty interesting. Let's talk about the civilization matchup. I actually don't know much about the Bengalis. They're one of those new expansion civs, and I haven't done my diligence yet and watched the Spirit of the Law video about it. So we're going to look at the Bengalis here. Their town centers spawn 2 villagers when the next age is reached. Holy crap, that is OP. Their cavalry get +2 attack versus skirmishers. Alright, well, that seems reasonable. Their elephant units receive less bonus damage. The monks are better armored. That's also OP. Wow, this civilization is just crazy. And their ships regenerate 15 HP per minute. Yeah, this civilization's totally broken. I don't know why they haven't. Like, this is crazy. Two villagers, like it's just a 2 villager lead, but when you get to feudal age, that's ridiculous. I mean, maybe some people could argue, oh, it's like the Chinese bonus, but I mean, come on. This happens every age. Okay, and then they got some other unique texts here which benefit their elephants and their villagers and monks. And then units generate 10% food in addition to gold. Their trade units. Yeah, that's just bizarre. Alright, So anyway, and the Saracens, we all know about them. Actually, we can hover here and see the bonuses easily enough. But they're good with camels, right? Their camels have extra health. Their archers deal bonus damage to buildings. They have the market abuse. Their galley line attacks faster. And then they were actually changed a bunch of times. I think not for the better. They got this really broken ability that their monks passively heal nearby units, and they got some pointless bonus toward trebuchets and mangonels attacking more. I guess I don't know. I miss their unique technology. I said, wow, this is quite the Vil fight here. Keitsa trying to prevent Mark Landers from building this dock, but Mark Landers does build the dock. I don't know, but I guess Keitsa did delay him. And now Keitsa is going to fight this. I don't think he should fight this. I think he's behind in hit points. He doesn't have the hill advantage he thinks he has. Keitsa, get out of there, man. No, it's too late. See, if he had repositioned and then taken the fight, he probably could have killed this, unless Mark Landers ran away, which is possible. He could have done. So, Keitsa has explored all of the map that he's going to explore so far. He has not found Mark Landers' town center. He hasn't found his lumber camp. He hasn't found anything except for where the dock will be. And I guess in Keitsa's defense, maybe that's really all that he cares about. He's explored kind of his own base. He's picked up his sheep. And here's Mark Landers. His scout is too weak to pick a fight with these villagers. Keitsa rushing down this house. So I think Keitsa's going to go for a naval war here. That's what this tells me from the exploration. Mark Landers, I'm not exactly sure what he is going to do. I'll check the fog of war. Looks like he's explored more of his lands, and he's out here exploring Keitsa now. He notes that there's kind of some space on either side to pressure Keitsa's base. I don't know how invested Keitsa's going to be into over here. No, he's not. He built his lumber camp here, which is smart. Keitsa had built his lumber camp over here or over here, they'd just be asking for trouble. Maybe in this location, but there's like some berries and some stone blocking, good lumber camp placement. So he really chose the best spot possible for his lumber camp. So both players, 3 fishing ships. It's always a good idea to build the fishing ships. I know I hate them. They're like another town center. It's like booming. But sadly, it's just a reality that you can just get like a free villager advantage over your opponent. And the only thing that you have to really be careful about is don't overinvest in the fishing ships. Otherwise, you'll never get up to the next stage. And if your opponent reaches feudal age first, they can just show up with their fire ships and sink all of your fishing ships. Okay, Max Power is going to take this gold. This gold is a little bit unfortunate for him. It's kind of close to the water, not very safe. This gold for Keitsa is very safe, and this gold for Keitsa is pretty safe as well. I actually would have taken this gold, but I don't know if Keitsa knows about that gold. I think he does, though. Yeah, he knows about it. He just wanted to take this one instead. Keitsa's berries are forward, though, which is unfortunate. It could explain why he's so interested in fighting for water. He's building another dock, and Max Power is building another dock. So we're going to see some pretty big water plays here. Keitsa edges out Max Power to the feudal age. And we're going to see fire ships in queue for Keitsa already. Yep, and Max Power is in the feudal age as well. And he has queued up a fire ship and a demolition raft, actually. Demolition raft, really? This early? That's a very nihilistic outlook on the game, but I guess he feels a little bit behind because his dock was delayed. So he's going to build another dock, actually. I don't know if he's going to be able to keep up. You know, I mean, if he's continuously producing from 3 docks, he will obviously be able to keep up with Keitsa. In fact, pull ahead with what Keitsa is doing. But I don't know if he's got the economy to support 3 dock production. That is a big question. Max Power repairing a fishing ship. I don't know how often you see players repair fishing ships, but that's really funny. When was the last? Only in Alchemy League, man. Only in Alchemy League do you see like 2 villagers repairing a fishing ship. I feel like. Okay, I've seen him. Oh! That was almost a disaster for Mark Landers. He had 3 villagers right in that area. It sends a message. Yeah, that's true, Hyder. Hyder over here apologizing for his GDR teammate. Welcome, welcome, Hyder. Helping us get inside the head of the man and the myth and the legend of Mark Landers. Yeah, I mean, it's just such a big investment. I mean, 3 docks, boom. 3 docks to fight for 3 fishing ships. I guess you could kill your opponent's 3 fishing ships and keep your 3 alive. So whoever wins water is going to get... Actually, there's 4 fishing ships here for Mark Landers. What am I talking about? Not that that really changes anything, but whoever gets water is going to have a 3 villager advantage immediately. And then maybe they could potentially have more of a... Oh! Big hit for the demos there, but doesn't finish any of them off. And Max Power has to get out of there. Now, Max Power, you know, he's a very resilient and adaptive player. That's one of the things that I've noticed from watching him. Is it seems like he plays very defensively at first, and he kind of mirrors the strategy that his opponent is going to do. But he doesn't really like hedge his bets on any one strategy. I've never really seen Max Power go for this or that specifically. You know, I don't want to say he doesn't go in with a plan, but I think that he kind of holds back and waits to see what his opponent's going to do, and then plays defensively and buys himself some time, and tries to minimize the damage of whatever power unit his opponent is teching into, and then he develops a response. That's what I've noticed about him. And Kitza has shown him what he needs to respond to. Kitza's committed to basically 2 dock full fires. Is he 3 dock? No. But Kitza's ahead. He's the Bengalis. He's got a civilization bonus, or a civilization advantage here, because his ships are inherently regenerating. And Max Power gets a naval bonus as well. He's going for the villager, and Kitza gets it. So Max Power has... here's a demo. Kitza's pulling back, and I think his lead on the water is over. I think Max Power has gotten some good demolition hits, but it cost him a villager. But Kitza, anyway, showed Max Power what he wanted to do, which was the fire ships. And Max Power doesn't have a bonus for fire galleys at all. Kitza's fire galleys are slowly regenerating. We click on them, you can see this fire galley is gaining health. It did have... Oh, look at this over here. Kitza has a dock. Max Power, does he know about that dock? Did he know about that? No, he doesn't know about the dock. He just sees that there are fishing ships, and now he knows about the dock. What are those fishing ships doing? Are they intentionally blocking the fires? I don't think so. Kitza has made a demolition raft, and he's trying to get a good hit, and he gets it. He wasn't able to save his 1 fire ship, but now Max Power knows about this sneaky side dock over here that Kitza built. So now Kitza is going to, I guess, looks like he might be... Okay, he's got some ships garrisoned, or a ship garrisoned. I don't know if Kitza's planning on just going up to the next stage. He seems to be building a market for that reason. Maybe Kitza's decided he needs a technology advantage to get back. I'd love to see somebody make some archers or something. Like if Kitza... I guess he's made an archery range here, but it doesn't look like he's making archers yet. He could delete this palisade and just walk over here. And Max Power is completely open. He hasn't attempted to wall at all. I mean, he's maybe kind of built this house wall here. But Max Power, he should know about this crossing right here. Let's check and see. Yeah, Max Power knows about this crossing here. So he should know that his opponent can just walk right across here whenever he wants and come into the back of his base. So I think that Max Power should really make more of an effort to wall that off. Failing to do so could be bad for him later on. But he is on his way up to the Castle Age. So he's going to have technology advantage, and he's actually going to be there before Kitza. Kitza's chasing him away with this fire, or with this demolition raft. Get some good damage there. Now a demolition raft is out for Max Power. Gets a hit against Kitza's fire galley, but Kitsa was able to micro things. He's going to outburn that repairman. And Max Power maybe doesn't see the repair villager behind the plume of fire. So who's left on water? Well, I think Kitsa has a single fire galley, and I don't know if he's making more. Max Power, he's got a demolition raft. Okay, so Max Power is still making ships. I agree. People have not been doing land play as much. We had this really epic game between Toady and Chonchilaru in the first sprint, where Toady did this sneak archery range in the back, and it was really, really annoying for Chonchilaru to deal with. And the game went so long that they entirely chopped out their starting islands and stuff, and they were fighting over the wood that was left on the neutral island. It was a very long game of Hussar raids. I especially expected players to start doing that in the later stages of the tournament when the map was a little more figured out. Maybe it is figured out. Maybe that's why they're doing this. It's like, well, this is a water map, so you just got to play it like water. I would have liked for the stream to be a little bit narrower. I think maybe that would have helped with some of the strategic variety. Kitsa, he's got to get out of there. He's got a full-blown demolition ship chasing his fire rafts. His fire galleys, I should say. So he's going to send one to burn it. It actually doesn't kill it. I'm surprised. So now he's going to send a different one. And now this one barely survives. So Kitsa actually very smartly microing his fire ships to minimize the damage done by these rafts. And now that he's got the upgrades, he's going to come out and he's going to try to blow up as many fire ships as he can. There goes that one. You know what I really like about the demolition ships is they're good against repair villagers. Like if there's a repair villager that's not being careful, he can get blown up pretty easily, and that hurts. It hurts your economy. Both players in Castle Age, obviously now, they've got the demolition ships and proper fire ships. Max Power coming to repair this dock, but I don't know if he's going to get the chance. Kitsa's got to burn this enemy fire ship down, but not enough health to do so, and Max Power is going to repair it. Yeah, look at them. They're both just going like straight up mirror fires. Kitsa has built another dock, so he's got 4 docks. Max Power, I think, still has 4 docks. So they're both 1 TC all in, although Max Power is adding another town center on the stone. Hyder says maybe having fish on the sides only would have helped too. That way docks would not go up in between players, and thus playing land army would be safer. That's a good point. Maybe if the fish were just in this area, players would just dock this area, and then they may not have the docks or the vision or the production monitoring enemy troop movements across the river in this location. That's a good point. See, these are all part of the finer details of map development. We might have map specifications that give a general outline for what the maps are supposed to be, and then they tell people not to do anything too crazy on them. But maps really come down to those little details. As Kitsa burns the last of Max Power's 2 docks here, and he's going to burn this one as well. He's already burned this one. Kitsa's just 1 town center all in, spending everything he has, although he is building another town center very slowly here. He feels confident that he's won the water, so therefore he's going to build the town center right next to the water. Not exactly right next to it. I mean, at least fire ships probably can't reach it, unless they're Byzantine fire ships. But galleys certainly could. So the fact that Kitsa's building this here tells us he believes he's won water, finally. And Max Power's just like, alright, whatever. I'm just going to do my booming thing. And let's take a look and see what their villager count is. I just had it here. So Kitsa's ahead on villagers is 52 to 48. I don't know if that includes fishing ships at all. But Kitsa has won the water officially. Max Power has given up. It's like, alright, well, I don't want the water anymore. So now Kitsa's sending patrols. And Max Power is going to have to think about something different. It looks like he's taking stone. So maybe the plan is a castle. Hyder says, yeah, at the end of the day, unless you see proper games being played on it, you can't be 100% sure what would work on a map and whatnot. Yep, you just gotta guess. You gotta guess, you gotta find skilled players that are good at guessing, and then just do your best to guess. But it's, you know, it's always helpful to just play it and get the experience, short of developing an elaborate computer simulation that does all kinds of build orders and tries things. It's just a complicated game, which honestly I'm surprised we don't have that yet. It seems like it, I don't want to say it's not difficult to program, but there's some really talented people out there. There's a guy that programmed like a combat simulator for Age of Empires that's pretty accurate, that predicts, okay, you know, you have these units against these units with these upgrades, which one wins? Oh, and you can check a box for perfect archer micro. So surely if somebody has programmed that it could be interfaced with like an economic program or something like that. Okay, Max Power taking the gold here. I don't know if Keatsa knows about that gold. I'm not sure if a galley could deny the gold or not. Okay, so Keatsa knows that the gold is here. Probably because he scouted it with his starting scout, but he doesn't know that his opponent is taking it. So Max Power, 2 town centers. Keatsa has made a ball of Bengali archers. Okay. So Keatsa's going to go over and harass Max Power with some archers. So he's figured out that he can't do any more damage with ships for now. He stationed ships all along the border to keep Max Power from expanding. And Keatsa's going to add another town center. And now he's going to go in with some archers to see what damage he could do. So if I'm Max Power and I see these crossbowmen, I'm thinking, okay, I need to pull these gold miners immediately. He's going to wall the crossbowmen out. I guess he somehow correctly predicts that Keatsa's going to march his army through his farmlands. Keatsa really should have come out this way. Maybe Keatsa was like, nobody would be crazy enough to take this gold here. I don't know how Max Power knew that Keatsa would come up this way. This seems like the less logical way to, you know, like Keatsa should have come out of range of the town center and then checked this gold and then come up here and check this stone. But instead Keatsa marched across the farmland instead. Max Power has to withdraw his villagers. Alright, he rushes down the castle now. He's got the siege workshop down. I think that was a little slow of a reaction. Keatsa's going to pick off 2 more villagers. I think with the success of that raid, I think it's going to be very hard for Max Power to get back into this game now. If Max Power hadn't taken any damage from the archers, then potentially he could make a comeback. But now he's 10 villagers behind, so I think it's going to be pretty tough. But he has a scorpion here. Okay, the scorpion forcing the archers to run away, and he's made a Mameluke. Now, I believe that Hyder says, does that take into consideration the awful melee pathing, though? That's a good point. I don't know. Maybe he did click over here with the intent that the archers would go this way, but they just decided to walk through the town center instead and just die. A bunch of them. I mean, to be fair, he did pick off a bunch of farmers this way, but he lost half his army. So Max Power building a university. And this tells me that Max Power is planning on going up to the Imperial Age soon. Usually when you see University, it's evidence of Imperial Age play, and we see a dock under the shelter of this castle. So he's going to go Imperial Age, and it looks like he's going to go Fast Fire Ship. That would be my guess, based on what he's making. Now, tell me something, you guys. Don't Mamelukes get bonus damage against ships? Because it's like a historical thing. Like camels do damage against ships. These camels killing the crossbowmen, and now they're... Three guys on back of a camel throwing swords at a ship and sinking it. Yeah, you and I both know, Hyder, that there's going to be like at least three fire ships that get stuck behind here. But this to me looks like a fast fire ship play. Mark Landers has garrisoned he lost his villager, dang. Kitza doesn't want him to get this dock up. He sees that Mark Landers is going to try to make a comeback on water. And so he sends his ships here to deny. Mark Landers only has 2 docks. Oh, the simulator. Does it take into account awful pathing? I don't know what kind of pathing it uses, actually. That's a good question. Camels and spears get bonus versus ships. Mamelukes don't. Well, I don't know. Did you see how those Mamelukes just tore through these ships? Like, it was like 6 shots and the ship was dead. And they don't even really have that high of a base attack. I really think that Mark Landers could make a couple of trebuchets, make a couple of monks, and make like 15 Mamelukes, and I think he could rampage through Keats's base and do a lot of damage that way. Now Keats is on his way up to the Imperial Age as well, and Keats is massing the war galleys. Maybe Keats, as the Bengalis, plans to make some of that sweet Bengali unique unit, whatever that thing is. It's a really huge ship. They deal melee damage, maybe that's why. Well, the war galleys do have 0 melee armor, and that helps. Max power ejecting the fires. Castle does not have enough range to help out, unfortunately, for max power. He's trying to get his siege weapons in position, but he can't quite get his siege weapons in position because they're slow and they have bad range. I don't think water is the answer. I think that Mamelukes are the answer. And Keatsa getting to Imperial Age, Mark Landers calls the GG. His whole thing was being imp first, and Keatsa was there at the same time. Big civilization advantage for Keatsa, definitely here. And Keatsa able to overpower Mark Landers, and he couldn't come back. Well played to Keatsa, though, for keeping up the pressure, not letting Mark Landers do anything. So let's go take a look at the statistics. So Keatsa with 54 kills, 37 deaths, raised 9 buildings, lost none, and largest army of 22, and it was all basically ships. I guess he made some crossbows at some point that did a lot of damage, actually. Keatsa recognizing that Mark Landers was probably not adapted to deal with land units, and he went into crossbows, and I think that really won him the game at that point. It sealed Mark Landers' fate. Mark Landers with more food and wood collected, and stone. Keatsa with more gold collected. Neither one got any trade profit. What's up with that? Did anybody get any relics? Okay, it looks like Keatsa picked up 2 relics toward the end. Technology, max power up to Castle Age first. Keatsa was feudal and imp first. Explored more of the map and had more research. Each built 1 castle, and Keatsa with a villager high of 90. Camels, spears, fire lancers, fire archers, and Genoese are the only land units getting bonus damage versus ships, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe some siege does too, but I'm not sure. Alright, so, yeah, there's the timeline. So now we're going to go back to the replays. We could actually bring up the advanced Genie editor and check and see if Mamelukes get bonus damage versus ships. You know what? I'm kind of curious. Let's do that. Let's do that because we have a participatory chat. Chat is here and they are participating with us. So we will bring up the advanced Genie editor and we'll see what that tells us about the bonus damage. Some of you maybe are not familiar with the advanced Genie editor. It's kind of difficult to explain. It's basically the database where Age of Empires 2 draws all of its numbers from. And then they make up all kinds of stuff. So we'll type in the unit here for the Mamelukes. So he had Mamelukes. And then we check down here the attacks. And so this is an attack against buildings. This is base melee attack. Cavalry. Looks like they deal 9 base damage to cavalry. So this is their attack bonus. So they're getting 9 on top of their base melee attack of 8. And then, let's see, standard buildings, amount 0. And unused type, amount 0. I guess we won't worry what that is. Unused type, -3. What? So they deal 3 less damage to something. and then they get 0 bonus damage against siege weapons. So I guess they don't deal bonus damage against ships. And I don't think elite Mamelukes do either. Cavalry, base melee, standard buildings, Mamelukes. Yep. No bonus damage versus ships that I can see so far. Let's try camel. We know that camel riders deal bonus damage to ships, right? So we look up camels and we look up that particular unit, camel rider. And now we're going to scroll through its different types of attacks. And ships and saboteurs, they deal 5 bonus damage to. So there it is. So Hyder is correct. No bonus damage for Mamelukes, because if they got bonus damage against ships, it would show up here as class 16, which it does not. Yeah, no class 16 attack. Alright, great. So now that that is settled, we will close the Advanced Genie Editor, and we will go on to cast the second game, which is Shimmerpool. So Shimmerpool is a map that was made by yours truly. It looks like we are on the desert version of Shimmerpool, which is the most common variation that exists. This is an ancient map. This map has been around for a long time. It was originally made in 2021, I think, for the World Desert Championship. And it was not called Shimmerpool at the time. It was called Karga at the time. And it was a nomad map, and players started in the corners of the map and moved inward and unpacked their town centers. And the judges for that thought that it would take too long for action to get started, so they rejected the map. At the time, I did not have the ability to give players a standard start because I did not have a compiler that could generate an elliptical starting pattern around this elliptical oasis. Looks like we got kind of the wider version of the oasis. So water could come into greater play on this map. But look at this. I love this. So GDR Marklanders is playing as the yellow Magyars, and Kitsa is playing as the red Armenians. Now let me tell you something about this map. This map is utterly open. This map is extremely open. I know that this map does not look open, but let's examine why this map is open. There are several reasons. Reason number 1. Look at all of the lack of stone here. Where's the stone? Players don't get stone. The only place that the stone exists is on this rocky ridge right here. So you got to walk all the way over here. This terrain is unbuildable, and this terrain is cracked terrain, which buildings take more damage on. So moral of the story is, you could take some stone, but probably not until later because it's hard to defend. So reason number 1 that this map is open, you can't build stone stuff very easily. And stone is a great way to play defensively. So that's reason number 1. It's hard to get stone, which is necessary for building stone walls and towers to defend yourself and play defensively. Reason number 1. Reason number 2, that this map is open. Look at where all the wood is. All of the wood is forward. And this invites your opponent to come over here and potentially camp some archers in a wood line, camp some trees in a wood line, maybe even build a tower if they're taking stone and playing on the offensive. So that's reason number 2. All the wood lines are forward. You don't have a back wood line on this map. Reason number 3. Lions. Lions, tigers, and bears, and wolves. Oh my. Yeah, you can't wall to the edge of the map on this, because these lions will have something to say about it if you attempt that. So sure, I mean, you could come over here and you could plug up with palisades some of these trees that are closer to you, but unless you're prepared to wall across all of this, you're not walling anything out, because you can't wall to the edge of the map here, even though it's kind of logical. There's a big forest here, there's water here, there's other trees that you can take advantage of. You can't do that because there are lions guarding it. And this is a lot of lions, so sure, you could send some villagers, and fight this off. You could send like 3 or 4 villagers, but it's a big commitment. And if you do that, you're going to be very much behind your opponent. And we can see that Mark Landers is trying to get revenge here on Kitsa, but Kitsa sent 2 villagers to build this dock very smartly. So he's not going to be able to get that villager kill. So that was a good idea from Kitsa. He's going to be able to get his dock up, and he's going to be able to have this lady fish here. Okay, that's funny. He actually deletes the palisade wall and then rebuilds it so that they can both fish together. Well, that's really nice. But I will say this. Mark Landers, a.k.a. Max Power, being Magyar's, this is a big deal because now he can come out here and fight these lions. Because remember, Magyars have a civilization bonus that they can kill a wolf with a single hit. So this lion comes over here to fight these villagers, and this villager just stands up, shanks it, and it dies. So Magyars don't have to deal with predator class animals the way that other civilizations do. I remember this map, or a version of this map, Karga, being used in Akal's 3v3 League, and one of the players figured out that he could be Magyars, and he could literally send a sneak villager all the way to the other side of the map and build a bunch of archery ranges and cavalry archer raid his opponents, because that sneak villager could kill every single one of these lions. So if you are Mark Landers, this map is actually more closed than it would be for any other civilization. You know, Magyars have the privilege of playing on this map as really kind of sort of a closed map. And it's something that no other civilization gets because no other civilization is able to deal with the lions. But I think in this case, Mark Landers is using that bonus just so that he feels a little bit safer about taking the resources out here. Because there are resources out here, but they're kind of guarded by lions, right? If you go out here as Persians or something, you're sort of pushing your luck. You really don't want to get too close to the lions. So Mark Landers is not docked. He is playing this without water, which I love. And he's building a stable. So he's going to do the Magyar scout rush. And we can see that the scouts are already in production. Magyars are a nice pick for this, especially when you consider that one generation has the middle frozen, so fish is less valuable. That's true. So if Mark Landers can make the Magyars work in this generation, where the lake is not only completely thawed, but it's also wider. This is a version of the map where the lake is wider. So if he can make Magyars work here, they could probably work on any generation of the map, you know, depending on what your opponent does and everything. There's a lot of luck involved too. But he's got his 2 scouts, and the Magyars get forging for free, so they have 6 attacks, so they could actually be very damaging. Now, Kitsa is no pushover. He's in the 1700s. He has just reached feudal age, and he has built a defensive spearman here to keep his villagers on gold safe. And Max Power needs to be paying attention here, otherwise he's going to lose his scout. Alright, he does manage to kill the spearman, and he loses his scout, so overall that's not a good trade. And it's also not a good trade because now Kitsa knows that he's over here and he needs another spearman. So we're probably going to see Kitsa make another spearman. Yeah, he's making another spearman, and he gets the man-at-arms upgrade. I'm not sure what Kitsa's going to do with the man-at-arms upgrade, but I know what Max Power is going to do, and that is he's going to scout rush Kitsa's gold. So Kitsa did not make enough spearmen at first. He's got a scout back here, but I don't see his militia. I don't know if they didn't make it or not. But Max Power picking up a few villager kills on this gold, and Kitsa has to pull back with his mule cart. So Kitsa is officially off gold, you guys. He's got to mass up some spearmen to get back on gold. He is making a barracks. Oh, wait a second. Armenians get spearmen in Dark Age. So he could actually research pikemen if he really wanted to. Isn't that right? Let's take a look at his technology tree for the Armenians. Yeah, they get spearmen in Dark Age and pikemen in Feudal Age. It's really messed up. And halberdiers in Castle Age. So, yeah, that's just bizarre. And that makes a scout rush even kind of more dubious against them, because they have access to these units so early. So Max Power patrolling this gold. He doesn't want Kitsa to come back here. Kitsa is, looks like he's struggling for food a little bit, maybe, or maybe he's just spending it. He does have free range of the lake in the middle, so he's able to expand his fishing. And, oh, is Max Power going to get lucky and find these villagers? This is really unlucky for Kitsa. You know, just the moment that he deletes that wall, the scouts come back over here and pick off a villager. It is a big investment going the 2 barracks pikemen in Feudal Age. Uh-oh, Kitsa, watch out. Kitsa did not quite build that gate in time to kill Mark Landers' scouts. So Mark Landers has made an archer as well, so he's got an archery range at home. I don't know where his villagers are. I guess he's built another mill, and he's going to take some of these berries. These might look small, but they actually have twice as much. So these are clusters of 4 berries here, essentially. And we got a few archers. So these archers are going to kill the spearmen, and they're going to allow Max Power to continue to pressure this gold. Because Kitsa needs gold. Everybody needs gold. Max Power back on that gold. He does not manage to get the villager pick off. He's got to come back here and micro against this Man-at-Arms. Kitsa got Man-at-Arms, but he didn't really make Man-at-Arms. He made 1 Man-at-Arms that we've seen so far. Max Power wants to finish off this scout, and Kitsa going to evacuate the gold again. And Kitsa going into he's making more Man-at-Arms. I don't understand the Man-at-Arms. He's not on his way up to the Castle Age, so he's not going to upgrade them to Long Swordsman. Maybe he's making the Man-at-Arms because they're a little bit better against the archers. I'm just not exactly sure. There's nothing in their team bonuses or civilization bonuses that tells me why Man-at-Arms would be a good choice here. Kitsa considering a palisade gate to wall his opponent off. And he's got to repair this gate as well. With the creation of these archers, I'm not really sure what Kitsa's options are, though. He could make skirms, or maybe he could make defensive towers. He could get long swords in feudal as Armenians. Oh, that's true. Maybe that's Kitsa's plan, is to go long swords. And Kitsa fighting a brutal battle here. A desperate battle. I think Kitsa should make more fishing ships. He knows that his opponent is not contesting the lake at all. Let's check the villager count. Kitsa's he's actually tied with Max Power in villager count. But he's got more idle time, because Max Power has been here and he's been really annoying as the Magyars. I believe that Magyars are the only civilization in the game to get fully upgraded Paladin and fully upgraded Arbalister. Kitsa's saying the stupid Vils. Yeah, the Vils are pretty stupid in this game. Probably annoyed by the shape of the forest and such, and trying to evacuate and effectively wall out his opponent. But I think it's a good thing that Kitsa's having a hard time walling out his opponent, because the map is intended to be a little bit more on the aggressive side. So Kitsa's made some long swordsmen, and he is coming for a counterattack against Max Power. He's satisfied that he has wiped out his opponent's army, and his opponent is advancing to the Castle Age. Now, I don't know that Max Power knows about this. Oh, Max Power is in the back here with 3 annoying archers, and Kitsa's going to fight it, I guess. He's got to micro this weak villager back. He's going to kill, I think, this 1 archer. That's pretty annoying. But Kitsa wasn't having much luck with this gold over here, so he tried this gold. And now Max Power has found this. And Max Power has reached Castle Age, and Kitsa calls the GG and resigns. Although somehow Kitsa lost all of his villagers here. I think he just deleted them out of frustration. So Max Power never built a dock on this map, showing us how it's done, how you can win on Shimmerpool without docking. I mean, maybe it would have been harder for him to win if Kitsa had built more fishing ships. Maybe, there were some things that Kitsa could have done differently. But he had a hard time defending his gold because I think he was trying to get into long swords. And Max Power wouldn't let him get there. GG, well played. Military count, Kitsa actually killing 15 and only losing 11. And some of these losses for Kitza were villagers, too. So Kitza did a decent job of killing scouts and archers and that sort of thing, but he was also taking a lot of economic damage at the same time. Max power, collecting more food and wood. Kitza collecting more gold. Max power with faster feudal and castle age advancements, and also explored more of the map. Researched more as well. Kitza with a larger villager high makes sense because he had fishing ships. And here's the timeline. It doesn't look like a max power victory, but that's what it is. So now we go to Wizanatic versus Snappy. So I'm going to change overlays again real quick, and I'm going to explain the maps. This map took place in round 7 when Rurugai was the map of the round. So that's what they'll play first. And then the result of their turns banning resulted in Gugong being the map that they'll play second. The civilizations available to Wizanatic and Snappy. Wizanatic gets Turks, Burmese, and Berbers, and Snappy gets Cumans, Georgians, and Malyans. We can expect a lot of arena-friendly civilizations because both of these maps, the players start with stone walls. So with that, let's jump into the game. What? What in the world? I wonder if there was like a save and a restore. Okay, well, both of these players have made it to the Castle Age, and they're researching the Imperial Age now. So, yeah. I think I got the right replay, too. Well, I've never seen that before. Sorry about that, guys. I guess you'll just have to take for granted the fact that maybe they fought a little bit. I mean, it looks like Wizanatic's outpost was damaged, and Snappy is the Georgians. Well, dang, that's kind of embarrassing. I've never seen that before. Yeah, so they must have, in a very rare situation, yeah, they must have, I mean, these guys are like opposite sides of the world. Snappy is from Colombia and Wizanatic is from Germany, so probably there was a crash and they did a restore at this point, and then we got the save that has the restore file. So sorry about that. Alright, so Wizanatic is playing as the Blue Berbers against Snappy's Gray Georgians. I like the Berbers here. They're very good with mobility. Their ships are faster too, in case Wizanatic wanted to go into ships. But looks like Snappy is all about those Manaspas. I'm not exactly sure who's going to win. Wizanatic wants to secure some resources, so he's building this town center. I think that these Manaspas are going to get here too soon, though. And the Manaspas are being buffed by 13 other Manaspas. And their whole thing is that they're more powerful in the Brethren. So the more Manaspas that there are, the stronger their attack is. They give each other attack bonuses. And it looks like Snappy's got an advantage here in terms of score. Wizanatic should make camels. He should go into heavy camel. He's trying to get this town center up to secure this stone. It looks like he's really trying to go into the camel archers, though. Like he's building castles. He's gathering stone. I think he should be taking gold and trying to go camels. But maybe Wizanatic's attitude is, I'll just micro my camel archers and not lose them. Looks like Wizanatic has a Manaspa here too. Now, funnily enough, I think converted Manaspas get their bonus as well. But this guy doesn't have any other Manaspas buffing him, so he's going to get picked off. And, oh, yeah, okay. Wizanatic is making camels now. So that's good. I think that's what he has to do. So Rurugai was made by Sing Sing. Sing Sing AoE for It's just part of our open map contest. Sing Sing is Chinese, and Sing Sing actually did really well in the map contest. Sing Sing's known for being pretty creative. So Sing Sing got 2 maps, and they're both inspired by some location in China. This map, a lot of people really like this map because there's a lot of stuff you can do. You can go into like the ships and you can take over everything. Snappy has decided that this is a pretty safe place, and so he's going to make some fishing ships with some fish traps as part of his eco, and he's got some castles on either side to defend it. It really looks a lot of fun. What's kind of what the players have done with this map. But these guys are going land units. We've seen both. We've seen like castle units, and then we've also seen just like people go full out galleys and stuff on the creeks. It all just depends. We've got a monk trying to get a conversion here on a camel and succeeding. Wisnatic, he wants to chase down these troublesome Manaspas, but they're too fast. Which I think camels actually are faster than Manaspas. But camel archers are a fantastic support unit for camels. You know, if Snappy ever made a big ball of halberdiers, they could have a hard time taking a favored engagement against the camel riders because the camel archers would shoot them down. Alright, are we going to get the fight here? It looks like Snappy has to fight. No, apparently you can just run your entire army. The camels don't block anything. And he's running right toward Wisnatic's other camels, so that's a little bit unlucky for him. I'm not really sure what Snappy's plan is. It seems like he has a really good economy. It's reasonably well defended. He's walled off here. He's got castles defending his fishing ships on fishing traps, but what is his end game? Yeah, it looks like Snappy is going into, like, infantry upgrades, and he's also getting armor upgrades for archers. He needs another unit to deal with this, because Wisnatic has 2 types of units. He's going to fight Wisnatic underneath the castle, but that's not good enough. And Wisnatic wipes out a bunch of Manaspas. He loses a fair number of camels, but he still's got to run. Now, this map is regicide. It's got a guard state that forces regicide. So you could go for like a king snipe victory condition. That is a possible way to win. There was some discussion and we modified the map last minute to do that. Just because the players were kind of confused about the king. Maybe we'll make a rule in the future that says that you shouldn't give a map a king by default. Unless you plan on enforcing a regicide boundary or a regicide condition. Snappy getting killed over there too. Alright, Wisnatic looking for a raid. This is actually a good opportunity for Wisnatic to raid. I don't know that any of these villagers are going to escape. Snappy's going to send some of them home, but yeah, nah, they all die. But there's a castle here defending these villagers, so Wisnatic cannot stay. Okay, so Snappy is going into the halberdiers. I really think that Snappy... What Snappy needs to do is he needs to go Halb and Siege Ram, if he gets it. Do Georgians get Siege Rams, you guys? Let's check and see. Against Siege Ram and Halb, there's like nothing that Berbers can do. Berbers suck against like pike siege push. I know it's not what the Georgians are built for. Yeah, they do get Siege Rams, so... But it's what they need to do. Because I think the Berbers are just better at the Georgians. They may not have the same defense and economy, but their military options are fantastic. Their camos do tons of bonus damage to different things. Or we can see Snappy and Wisnatic both want this area, but Snappy's castle goes up first. So Wisnatic, I guess he's going to try to finish the castle still. He'll probably succeed. Yeah, the castle goes up. And now he's going to charge... Is he going to charge? No, he's not going to charge the base of Snappy's castle. I'm wondering if it's going to be petards, though. It's going to be trebuchets first. Wisnatic finally making trebuchets. I don't see any trebuchets from Snappy. Snappy, he's reached the population limit. Alright, Snappy is pop capped. Is Wizanatic pop capped? No, he is not. So Wizanatic is still the underdog here, and the score tells that too. So we're going to root for Wizanatic. Even though as a tournament host, I'm supposed to be impartial, I'm rooting for Wizanatic here because he is the underdog. And I like underdogs. I like the story of somebody that overcomes the odds. We all want to be an underdog, right? We don't want things to feel preordained. We don't want to feel that the impossible is truly impossible. It's always a good feeling to defy the impossible. Hyder says, yeah, Georgians have quite good siege. So, I think that's Snappy's win condition. I don't think that these Manaspas are effective anymore. I mean, maybe if Wizanatic didn't have castles everywhere defending his economy, maybe you make a few Manaspas and you use them to raid trebuchets and stuff and kill siege weapons, but in general, this is your unit of choice. The siege rams with the halbs, or siege onagers with the halbs, or maybe a little bit of both. Both castles go down only a few minutes after they were built. Wizanatic can't push in because of the halbs, and Snappy can't push in because of the camel archers. This shouldn't... Yeah, I don't think Snappy wants to take this fight. The camel archers will just get microed back, so they don't take free damage. But yeah, some buildings in the center would be good. Maybe he could use a siege onager or an onager to clear out these reeds so that he could build 15 barracks in the middle. You know, and creep up here with trebuchets. Alright, Wizanatic deciding he really wants this area, so he's going to rebuild the castle here. I don't know that that's such a great idea. I think Snappy will just be back. Certainly Snappy will see that castle. And, yeah, so Snappy knows that this castle is being rebuilt, and he's going to unpack his trebuchets, and he's going to come back to destroy it. So the question is, can Wizanatic snipe these trebuchets? Trebuchets auto-attacking the barracks. Wait, I don't know what that was. Or maybe in a rare arena moment, the trebuchets were attacking some units. Maybe he's just using the trebuchets to snipe the camel archers. That would be pretty funny. That's what he's doing. That's so funny. Sometimes, you know, your opponent just gets this annoying ball of units. Now, these are not Briton trebuchets. If these were Briton trebuchets, then they would be dealing splash damage. And that is really scary, because it's like they're bombard cannons. Yeah, can Snappy adapt and make the siege weapons that he needs to win this game? You really need a good 2-3 onagers or siege onagers to clear this out. Like this is a lot of elite camel archers, and they deal extra base attack. They're just so potent. They kill everything. They have a large damage output. It's not as bad as Mangadai, I don't think. Or maybe it's a little bit worse than Mangadai, but they don't deal as much bonus damage. We can check to see what the base damage of Mangadai is. So the elite camel archers is 8 base damage, and we're going to look at the Mongols here real quick and see the base damage for the Mangadais. Yeah, the base damage is 8, so it's the same as Mangadai. Is Wizanatic switching to infantry himself? I don't think so. I don't think he has any reason to. Yeah, it's all just camels and stuff. He's making more stables. So Wizanatic, Berber infantry is absolutely terrible. They are missing the final armor upgrade. I believe that they do get... No, they do not get halbs, and they do not get champions. I don't think they get champions. So they have... That would give them two-handed swordsmen and pikemen, which are castle age units or castle and a half age units. Look at all these defenses that Snappy's got in here. He's got like 5 castles all right next to each other. Wizenadic's pushing up because Snappy has not gone into the siege weapons yet that he needs to clear this out. Just keeps making Manaspas and Halberdiers, which is unfortunately not good enough. They have the same base damage, but Mangudai attack faster. Oh, that's a good point. There's the attack rate. Yeah, the damage out, the raw damage output for Mangudai is just insane. But the Camel Archers deal more bonus damage where applicable. They get the last armor and gambesons? Really? What? What? I thought that they were missing something. So they get champion, no gambesons. They must have changed it. Or maybe I'm thinking of the Huns and the blacksmith. I know that they don't get Halb though, because they're presumed to be so good at cavalry that they don't need halberdiers. Alright. So he could potentially legitimately go champion. Wizenadic could, if he needed to. But he doesn't need to. Just needs to keep doing what he's doing. And Snappy, it's up to Snappy to adapt. Snappy hasn't adapted yet. He's going the Manaspas, the Halberdiers, and he's got Trebuchet. So Wizenadic has kind of chosen this left side to push in on. And it's a smart side to choose. I mean, Snappy has economy over here. He's got lumberjacks. He's got fishing ships. These cannot be evacuated, so these will die. And these villagers should evacuate. It looks like he's kind of already thinking about evacuating. Wizenadic chewing through these palisades here. No, I guess Snappy just retasking his units. Oh no, Snappy's going into skirmishers. Maybe. What's the quality of Georgian skirmishers? Let's see. So they get elite skirmisher, and they get they get bracer, but they don't get the final armor upgrade for skirmishers. That hurts. They of course get chemistry, and I don't think they get any skirmisher bonus. So these skirmishers will be very easy for Wizenadic to kill, since Chinese lost camels. Hyder says, generally speaking, civs which get heavy camel do not get halv. Persians are the only exception, if I'm not mistaken, since the Chinese lost camels. Skirms is a desperation choice here. Yeah, I don't think skirms are the right choice. Look at these camel archers just tearing through the skirmishers. They will take extra damage from the skirmishers. Okay, so Snappy deciding to make his stand here, and Wizenadic actually sacrificing the trebuchets. He's like, nah. You know, I'm not gonna risk my camel archer mass for 3 trebuchets. But now he's taking an opportunity to pick some stuff off. His skirmishers seem to be missing some upgrades. They're not doing much damage. No, it looks like they got all the upgrades that they can have. And Wizenadic has built a town center here, which is an interesting choice. And it looks like he wants to build a castle too, but his enemy is in the way, so he can't, and he has to pull his villagers back. But Snappy really needs the siege weapons. That's what he needs. He's chopped all of this out. And looks like he's made a couple of galleys, maybe? Or perhaps these are left over? I don't know. We didn't see it. We weren't here for it. But you don't really ever want to make skirmishers if you don't have to in a 1v1. At least this late in the game. But Camel Archers being such a solid unit, you know, a 2K player like Wizenadic can micro Camel Archers all day very effectively. It looks like this castle will be denied though, but Wizenadic taking advantage of this choke point here to be super annoying. Snappy needs siege, though, to push this back. Wisnatic has made some more camels. Looks like Snappy did do a raid over here. Oh, no, Wisnatic destroyed this yurt so that he could get to the relic, which is pretty funny. So Wisnatic has a monk with a relic now. Relic victory is, of course, enabled. This is Alchemy League. So standard victory is our victory condition. Wisnatic finally getting this castle up. Snappy is working on the castle with a trebuchet. And what do we see here? We see a barracks from Wisnatic. So maybe Wisnatic is going to transition into infantry himself. I don't see many camel archers, but they could just all be hiding behind this castle. I don't understand the barracks. I think he's doing fine with the units that he has. Snappy starting to mix in some skirmishers. This is telling me that Snappy is low on gold. Castle goes down after repeated bombardment from Snappy. And yet, champions from Wisnatic. Champions are good against trash units in general. You know, they're one of those units that cost less gold than other gold units. But the advantage about that is that they are better than units that cost no gold at all. They're good against units that cost no good at all. Now, these champions are missing an armor upgrade. Wisnatic is working on that right now. But I guess he felt like champions would put him over the edge here. Now it's Wisnatic who needs siege. Either onagers or scorpions to take care of the trash. I feel like he could have made it work with enough camels. And he is making more camels now. He's mass producing the camels. Oh, he's lost his other castle, though. That's not good. Maybe Snappy will push this back. Wisnatic does have the score lead for now, though. He's actually taking this gold here. I bet Snappy would love to have that gold. Oh, Snappy doesn't know about this gold. Oh, snap. Look at that. Sneaky Wisnatic. If only Snappy knew. I don't think Snappy is taking gold anywhere. He's got 8 gold miners somewhere, Snappy does. I don't know where. He's got gold here he could take. Unless he doesn't know about that either. No, he knows about this gold. He's not taking it, though. So he's not out of gold, but he's trying not to spend it at the same time. He's only got 4 on gold. I'd rather see him switch to Hussars and raid on the side. I think it would be a good use of resources. He could kill some fishing ships, because they can't garrison in anything, and he could disrupt these lumberjacks over here. But I really think somebody should clear out the middle and build a bunch of buildings in here, and nobody's done it yet. Wisnatic is going to lose this castle too. That is unfortunate. It's unfortunate for Wisnatic. He's building more stables now. What do Wisnatic's resources look like? He is population capped. He has a bunch on gold, but he doesn't have very much gold. But at least he's taking it from Wisnatic's perspective. But like neither of these guys will make any siege weapons besides trebuchets. It makes me sad. Could do a lot with some siege weapons. Built more stables. Oh, look at this. Scouts. Scouts for Wizanatic. He has not gotten the light cav. Oh, no, okay. He just got the light cav upgrade. And he might be going for the raids now. Light cav could work well for him, or Hussar could work well for him in terms of clearing out some skirmishers. Could focus spending his gold on the camel archers instead. Looking bad for Wizanatic, he's not really addressing the skirmishers. Yeah, Snappy tech switched into skirmishers, and Wizanatic hasn't responded. However, he is going to drop... Oh, he wanted to build a castle here, but it looks like Snappy is building one instead. Snappy did find this gold, and Wizanatic abandoned it. So Wizanatic has to get out of here. The castle is up, and it's in the way. Raids and meat shield for his camel archers. Not as good as camels versus Manaspa, but at least they cost no gold. That's true. Yeah, I agree. I think Hussar would really help Wizanatic out a lot if he made more of them. And it looks like that's what he's doing. Hussar are better against the skirmishers. They have 6 pierce armor, whereas these heavy camels only have 4. So what is the difference between 6 and 4? Well, considering that these elite skirmishers have 7 attack apiece, if you are taking an arrow from a skirmisher or a javelin from a skirmisher, and you have 4 pierce armor, you will take 3 damage per hit. And if you have 6 pierce armor, you will take 1 damage per hit. So, therefore, camels take 3 times the damage from these elite skirmishers as Hussars do. So the Hussar switch is really clutch for Wizanatic for that reason. Snappy was able to mass produce enough of these skirmishers that they are a serious threat, and Wizanatic has to break out a tech switch of his own to deal with them. With that extra pierce armor making all the difference. But I think Wizanatic is stabilized here. Both players pop-capped. Although Wizanatic has 17 idle villagers somewhere. She has not redeployed. And look at this. Snappy is making all of this work on an 82 villager economy. What the heck? What the heck? Oh, you know what? Are his villagers taking up less... No, I don't know. I don't know how Snappy is able to afford all of this on 80 villagers. He will keep his gold to replenish camel archers or siege, which is good. That's true. He could spend the gold on other things. What's interesting, though, is he went champions before the Hussars. The champions have 5 pierce armor, so they're not as good as the Hussars against skirmishers, but they're better than camels. Georgian economy, I guess. Yeah, it looks like he's got the fortified churches here to boost the work rate, or at least here and here, to boost the work rate of his villagers. You know, maybe what Wizanatic needs are some bombard cannons. And bombard cannons are very good against buildings, and they're good against balls of skirmishers, too. So what does Snappy do now? Oh, look at this. Snappy has built a forward tower. I like this tower. I guess towers, you gotta build towers where castles will not do. So now what's Snappy's plan now? He's no longer pop-capped. He's massing up some skirmishers, or he's, well, kind of trying to mass up the skirmishers, I guess. Wizanatic is playing a castle drop on Snappy. Can't quite build it there because Snappy has trebuchets. Snappy's trebuchets said no. Oh no, Wizanatic has gotten in. He can destroy the trebuchets. He's trying to build another castle here. And Trebuchet gets a free hit, but I don't know if this castle's gonna go. It is a very bold castle, building a castle underneath 2 trebuchets. And he's got another castle here too. Snappy should tell this castle to kill these villagers. But it's attacking it's attacking the hussars instead. I think Wizanatic is ready for this game to be over. He's really trying to put the pressure on Snappy to get him to resign. Wizanatic just has, probably of all the players in the league, I would say Wizanatic has the best macro. He's always been very good at controlling everything everywhere. Yeah, and with that, Snappy calls the GG. When this castle goes up and this gate is about to go down, he realizes that he can just be raided eternally. GG, well played. Neither of the players bothered with any siege workshop units, which is unfortunate. And we missed the first part of the game, which is also unfortunate. But we got to see the gist of it. Figure out what happened. Maybe not too much happened beforehand. I guess we'll never really know. We saw Snappy's burning outpost up here. So Wizanatic taking a win over Snappy in the first game. I don't know if I can even trust the statistics. I don't know if this is like for the time that we watched or if this is the entire game. Wizanatic with 1,000 kills, 800 deaths. Snappy with 44 buildings razed and 17 lost, 1 conversion. Largest army of 108. Snappy collecting more food and wood. Wizanatic collecting more stone and gold. Wizanatic, oh, alright, I guess we can sort of trust it because it's telling us that he had a feudal age advancement time, and we never saw him do it, but apparently he was up to the feudal age faster, and up to the castle age faster, and up to the imperial age faster. Snappy had more map exploration and better research count. 14 castles versus 13. Wizanatic with superior relic gold. And slightly better villager high, too. Relics were relatively well split. Now let us go to the replays to watch the second game, which is on Gugong. Alright. So Gugong, what is it? Well, Gugong is the Chinese name for the Forbidden City. This map was made by Biscuits for Alchemy League Season 6. Or maybe not so much for the league as he had a map idea that he wanted to do. And he kind of started on this map and then we helped him perfect it for our purposes. So we could use it in our league. And he did a great job with it. And it can be kind of hard to randomize some of these scenario style maps. You know, maps that have a little bit more of a fixed position. But it's got different variations for like the spacing between towns. The contents of these squares are randomized. So these squares looks like a relic squares. There's 2 relics in the middle next to this pagoda. And so it looks like there are 6 relics total. There's a stone patch here on some unbuildable rock terrain. And then there is extra food over here. So we might see somebody try to do a triple bore lure or quadruple bore lure or a double bore lure and take a bunch of golds, or sorry, take a bunch of boars home that way. Snappy is playing as the gray Cumans in the north, and Wizanatic is playing as the blue Turks in the south. Turks, a very logical arena choice. I think Wizanatic could do a lot of damage to Snappy as the Turks. So Turks have all kinds of options. They can go fast imp, they can go Janissaries, they could even go monks, to be honest. They've got all kinds of things that they can do. They can have that bow that bonus for gold collection, I should say. They mine gold faster than other civilizations, and gold is really helpful for the types of units that are common on Arena. Snappy. Snappy, on the other hand, is playing as the Cumans. The Cumans are popular on this map because they can build the Cuman town center. So they can build a second town center somewhere and take extra resources and build extra villagers. And take resources in a way where, oh, we got Snappy attempting a double boar lure right here. So they can take resources in a way that they'd be able to defend. Like in Feudal Age, Snappy could totally just walk out here and build a town center and claim this area for himself. Now this boar is really trying to follow the villager, and I don't think that this boar lure will be successful. I know that this boar is still following the villager because the other boar can see it, but Snappy needs to work on getting these boars close to each other so that they will go through the gate at the same time. And it looks like he succeeds at that. So now he can move the sheep in. And Wizanatic not quite there discovering it, but maybe he could have discovered it. So Snappy shooting the boar with the town center first to weaken it. And this boar getting over here, and Snappy managing to save that villager. She was going to just mind her own business, but the boar still had some revenge it wanted to claim, but Snappy was able to kill it in time before it could kill her. So Snappy got 2 free boars here. And Wizanatic is just going to be finding this now, I think. Maybe he doesn't. Yeah, he's just finding it now. So he didn't even see Snappy do the double boar lure. So he doesn't know that Snappy has 2 boars more than him, basically. Now, does that mean that... Okay, so Wizanatic is just going to send villagers out here. So this looks like more of a commitment to build an actual mill and just like hunt these deer, and then maybe if he sends another villager out, he can lure a boar back or something, or sends a few more and he can just eat the boars over here. So it looks like Wizanatic's actually going to colonize this. This doesn't look like Wizanatic is going for a fast castle type play. So he's going to have, yeah, 3 villagers gathering and 1 villager building is the most efficient way to do it, because she will build an entire mill in the time that it takes these villagers to cut up some meat from this deer to bring home, which is kind of crazy when you think about it, but it's Age of Empires logic. I think that's a little bit of a mistake, perhaps. I think that Wizanatic should have either gone for the boar lure himself, or should have just ignored it for some crazy lightning fast castle build into Janissaries. Because here's the thing, the Cumans on Arena, sure, I mean, you start with the stone walls. Cumans don't get stone walls. You build your other town center, you get the villager lead. Looks like Snappy's coming out for some more meat. This time he's going to use maybe a villager to block or something like that, but he wants to lure additional boars in. But Wizanatic is in this area, so he's going to see him. But what I wanted to say is that it's very easy for the Cumans to get greedy on Arena and do the 2 town centers with the extra villagers and get like a 15 villager lead and all that good stuff. And that might sound fantastic because villagers are an important part of the game, but on Arena, it's very easy for your opponent to go fast castle and build powerful units that can punish you if you are up to the Feudal Age too late. And it looks like, oh, look at this. Snappy is laming these deer so that Wizanatic cannot have them. That is unfortunate. So I don't know why he sent 2 villagers for that. He could have just sent 1. And Wizanatic hasn't seen it yet. Maybe he sees on the minimap that the deers are dead. And yeah, so now he knows he's got a fight on his hands. Oh, wait a second. Wizanatic doesn't have loom. Oh, no. That's not good at all. Alright, he does manage to fight off Snappy. Or at least he kills a villager, but he loses a villager of his own. And yeah, Wizanatic has to go home. He can't even get loom because he's got loom queued up behind Feudal Age, so he would have to cancel Feudal Age. So he's sending these villagers to fight the scout. Could you imagine if Wizanatic had loom? It could be a different game. And Wizanatic is just going to go back to work. He wants the food. Snappy coming back and sniping the scout, which is unfortunate for Wizanatic. And now Snappy is going to steal this boar, I think. No, I don't know. Oh, okay, he's going to lame the boar. Snappy with a little laming. Well, that's lame. And that's exactly how he wants it. So Wizanatic does not have the food to click up to Castle Age. He's building a market now. I'm wondering if he's going to buy a little bit of food, maybe sell some stone. But Snappy coming over here kind of messing with Wizanatic a little bit. And Wizanatic has some more berries in his base, and he's got some sheep that he could have taken. So I feel like Wizanatic could have gotten up to Castle Age a little bit faster. Yeah, Snappy over here. He's killed the one boar, and now he's going to try to kill the other. Or he might try to steal it. Now he's going to steal it. Okay. So he decides... Oh, no, no, no. This... Oh, what is this? This boar attacking through the palisade wall. That was pretty scary if you're Snappy. And he's going to lose that villager. Snappy the Lamer. Wizanatic would call it justice. Snappy would call it a tragedy. But this boar getting the last laugh. So at least there's that for Wizanatic. Wizanatic dad gumming. Snappy says, "Yep, not my best day." I did not see what happened with that. Oh, Wizanatic sees the dead villager carcass. Yeah, everybody has those days. Now Snappy has built the 2 town centers, so that could be okay as long as he doesn't get too greedy with it. Snappy has 34 villagers and Wizanatic has 25. Wizanatic is on his way up to the castle age, though. And he's going to have enough stone for a castle. I would love to see Wizanatic build a castle like right here and deny this wood line. He can't really deny this wood line. He'd have to... I mean, maybe he could build here, but it's kind of far away. His best bet would be to build a castle right here and deny this gold and this wood line and put a lot of pressure on Snappy. But I don't know that he's going to do that. Although he's got villagers moving forward. And wait a second. Oh, he doesn't know. He didn't scout his opponent's base. So he does not know that Snappy has this vulnerable town center here. Well, that's somewhat unfortunate. Now, I don't think that Snappy knows that Wizanatic is dropping a castle. Oh, no, he does. He knows. I mean, to be fair, like, what do you even do if you're Snappy? There's not much you can do. You can't stonewall. I guess you could build, like, a house wall here to try to zone off the Janissaries that you know are coming. And Snappy going to build a market. But we're probably going to see some Janissaries from Wizanatic. I'd love to see a forward siege workshop and a forward monastery. You know, for him to really put the pressure on Snappy and punish Snappy for that 2 town center boom. But he may not be able to. So he's got the castle attacking. He's already made a Janissary. Wizanatic has sent a villager back, probably to build a monastery on these 2 relics. He's going to come over here and he's going to take this gold. Turks are very gold hungry. We can see that Snappy is sort of zoning this area off. Oh, one of the Janissaries goes down to the tower. And there aren't enough of them to dive the base of the tower. But there are some Janissaries here that can interfere with walling operations. Got to put them on stand ground, though, so they don't go to their deaths. Okay, and Wizanatic has built a town center here on the berries, and he's going to continue to take that food. Snappy getting a range upgrade for the tower to help him defend. And Snappy has to build another tower as well. Towers are a nice answer, but I don't really like humans on this map unless you go aggressive. I agree. I think it would have been very interesting to see Snappy go like Cumin Rams or something in Feudal Age. You know, build your second town center on the food and you pressure your opponent in Feudal Age. Maybe you can't even afford the second town center on the food. Maybe it's just a mill and you just go the Cumin Rams and the Scouts and all that nasty stuff because their production buildings are cheaper. Alright, so these Janissaries are just going to work on the market. Now, the Janissaries might not look like much, but Wizanatic can build a ram from this siege workshop, and then he can station Janissaries right outside of the range of the tower, and then the Janissaries will prevent repairs to the market, because the villagers cannot repair the market without being in range of the Janissaries. But I think this castle location is not a good castle location. I think Wizanatic should have tried to scout out his opponent more, but his scout was also killed, so he wasn't able to scout out his opponent. Alright, and he's going to garrison in the battering ram. Now this is a do-or-die castle for Snappy right here. Snappy really needs this castle to go up, and it looks like Wizanatic is going to try to get close to it. Oh, these Janissaries are marching in formation with the ram. That's kind of annoying. And the castle is killing Janissaries. There's not really a good place for Wizanatic to stand. And so Wizanatic is just going to pull back. Can't safely park the Janissaries anywhere to kill villagers. So his next best option is to come around and pressure on this side. Go after those juicy lumberjacks. He looks like Wizanatic wanted to build a monastery here, but Snappy was paying attention with the scout, found it, and killed the villager that was building it. Hyder says, I forgot who it was, but I casted a set where someone did the trush into double TC boom with cumins. Okay, Wizanatic is just going to pressure this gate. Snappy's going to need an answer. Snappy is coming with Keshiks. Now, Keshiks deal extra damage to rams because of their extra arrows. But they're not going to do too well against Janissaries. Okay, the gates go down. Probably we'll see the Janissaries hop in the rams, and they're going to move up this way. These villagers repairing the ram. Wizanatic hops out of the ram. He's trying to get some good villager kills, but Snappy killing the Janissaries with arrow fire. Wizanatic is not really able to do damage. He's trying, too. Snappy with 69 villagers to Wizanatic's 52. So I think if you're Wizanatic at this point, you just go Imperial Age. And let's take a look at Wizanatic's resources. You just stop making... Oh. So this annoying scout has killed a monk, and Wizanatic hasn't noticed. Alright, now he notices, and he's going to fight the scout. And he's going to kill the scout, but dang, what a lot of damage for your starting scout. That's pretty annoying. But I think Wizanatic just needs to go up to Imperial Age right now. He needs to recognize that his opponent is just too well defended. He needs cannons or trebuchets or both. And Snappy is the one going up to Imperial Age. Oh, that's not good. That's not good if you're Wizanatic, at least. It's good for Snappy. Wizanatic gonna take this gold mine here. He's also taking this gold. He's invested a lot in Castle Age. Okay, Wizanatic working his way around the back. Yeah, I think he should really march all the way around this. There's no reason the Janissaries couldn't just sit right here and just pick off villagers. His units do not cost food. That's true. He made the Kipchaks. Did I call them Keshiks earlier? I meant to say Kipchaks. Janissaries do cost food. That's true. And here are the Kipchaks now. These Kipchaks could actually tear through this gate if Snappy really put his mind to it. And I think that's what he's going to do. Wizanatic has gotten 3 relics so far. Snappy reaches the Imperial Age. And Wizanatic is just clicking up himself. Just passing. Alright, alright, so it looks like Snappy is going to prioritize coming over here because he knows that Wizanatic is building over here. Because he's got vision with the Palisades. Or because he explored it. Wizanatic garrisoning the town center. So we'll probably see a Trebuchet war now, which Snappy will win because he has 2 castles and he has a head start to the Imperial Age. So this castle will probably not be standing for much longer. These villagers from Wizanatic are fleeing the Kipchaks, but Wizanatic has some Janissaries, some gunners to shoot the Kipchaks. The Kipchaks are too fast. They're fragile, but they are fast. Wizanatic going to collect this gold. Wizanatic could potentially get all the relics. I mean, he's had map control for a while. He just hasn't really been able to hurt his opponent. Wizanatic with a defensive castle on the food. I'm going to try to keep Snappy from raiding him. I mean, I don't know how much this gate does, though, because this is unwallable terrain. Wizanatic reaching the Imperial Age. His castle has already gone down, though. But maybe he's able to build this defensive castle here and make a stand. I think that's what he's planning on. Snappy has come out here and he's built a town center with some farms. And he should try to take this relic, but the presence of the town center will prevent Wizanatic from getting it. As long as Snappy is paying attention, he can garrison in the town center and shoot arrows at any monks. And with the monastery going down, I think Wizanatic calls the GG. He realizes he's just too far behind. Alright, so there you go, guys. We had 2 sets today. We had Max Power versus Kitza. And we had Snappy versus Wizanatic. And I thought that they were some pretty good games. A lot of back and forth on some of them. Look at this huge economy from Snappy. It's nearly twice the size. I really appreciate you guys joining as always. This is the last cast that I plan on doing for Alchemy League Season 6. But we've got Alchemy League Season 7 starting very soon. So if you're watching this video, you're probably interested in Alchemy League. Perhaps as a player, perhaps as just a viewer. But if you are interested in Alchemy League as a player, we do have registrations open for Alchemy League Season 7, and I would love to see you in action. The more people that we have in the league, theoretically, our system can scale to any number of people. And the more people we have, the more comfortable seating will feel, because the closer elo your opponents will be. It's a very unique system. This past season, I think we had a good season. We had some good maps, as always. The big challenge is we had a bunch of new signups this season, and there were people that were not committed to the league format at all, and just didn't play, which is really unfortunate. But, you know, we learn, and we, you know, taking that risk of opening up and letting anybody new join is it's an important part of recruiting new players to the league. By far, the biggest source of league players for subsequent seasons are players from the previous season of the league. So we work really hard to retain the interest of people that have played in the league in the past, and consider all of their feedback. And it's a really cool thing. It's a proud thing. I'm proud of what we've got going here. So if you like the league, consider signing up. But if you don't play Age of Empires and you just like to watch, then thank you for being here. Either way, I'm really grateful for your support, guys, and I look forward to seeing you again soon, either in the registration sign up or perhaps on a future stream.